What is up, everybody? My name is Joe Riga, and you are about to listen to episode number 17 of the Third Floor Chronicles. This week's special guest, Godfrey. We recorded this Sunday, October 9th, right after the first show. I had the honor of hosting for Godfrey this weekend at the Improv, so I was definitely looking forward to this interview. And I'm not going to lie, guys, I thought it came out pretty good. Check it out. All right, Godfrey, explain your first stand-up experience.
First stand-up experience was in Chicago. I actually went up on stage with a friend. We did a duo thing. It's Godfrey and Alexander. It was at the Funny Firm in Chicago, and that was the scariest walk I ever took. I couldn't believe I was doing it. My knees were literally shaking like a cartoon. Like, I couldn't believe it. I was scared as hell. And the first joke we did, I think I did an impersonation of something. We did a sketch where I impersonated people. My friend played like a hypnotist, and I turned into different characters. And I got my first laugh, and I almost shit my pants. That's what happened. And then when I went solo, my first experience was like, I did comedy at that same place, Funny Firm. That was scary. Then I was at south side of Chicago. Bernie Mac had open mics at this place called the Cotton Club, and then I started my first stand up there too, solo wise. That was scary too, but you know, I had a good 5 minutes of stuff. You know, I always stayed prepared in case I broke up from the duo, which was only a year, and then duos are hard anyway. So then I started, I went solo, and those were my first stand-up experiences.
How long were you thinking about doing stand-up before you actually did it?
In Chicago, when I was in college, I thought about it in college. So when I finished college, I started because Tommy Davidson came to my school and performed. I went to University of Illinois and he performed. That's when I really got inspired to do it. I never wanted to be a comedian really, like in high school or anything. I wanted to I was a sports guy, science, and all this other stuff. But in college is when I really got inspired to do it. I would always, work on stuff. I had a girl I was dating that wrote down a lot of my stuff that I would say. She said, you should really think about doing this stuff when you finish school. So it was college that...
What was your first, when you were going solo and it was your first year doing open mics and stuff, how often were you getting on stage, you think, that first year or two?
I would get on stage like 2 or 3 times a week. 3 to 4 times a week. I would do professional shows like at this place called All Jokes Aside, which was an all-black owned comedy club. That's where I met everybody. D.L. Hughley, Steve Harvey, Sinbad, It was black owned. It wasn't like a black night at a white establishment. It was black owned Monday through Sunday, And so I would do about 2-3 shows a week, 4 shows if you're lucky, really, And then I had a kids show too. I did a children's show for underprivileged children on Saturday mornings. So I had a lot of stage time.
How'd you get hooked up with that?
Well, I was more of the cleaner kind of guy. And they just picked me. They asked me if I could relate to kids, and I could relate to kids better. I could do jokes for kids. So my style was like for children also. They said you look like you could be kid friendly. So,
what was one of the biggest challenges you faced going from maybe an open micer to a paid comic? Like maybe something you had to challenge yourself to get better at to make it to that next level.
I think the challenge is just being not really. You don't know when you're really ready. You go, hey, I think you kind of feel like, I think I can get paid now. I think I have ability to get paid. And especially when you're doing the urban circuit, you get paid quicker. They pay you for whatever. I was getting paid like right away, here and there. It might have been $50 here, $75 here, but we got paid right away, whether you were ready or not. When you got up on stage and, with urban crowds, they put that courage in your chest real quick. You know what I mean? So, but as far as like getting paid as a headliner, I mean, like a middle act, I got paid also. But I think that the biggest challenge was when am I going to be ready to go on the road as a headliner and a show is going to be on my shoulders. That was when I was I've been doing comedy 16 years. So the challenge was when I was in my 9th year and I said, okay, I think I'm ready 10th year to be a headliner, because I didn't want to be a headliner and I wanted to make sure I had an hour plus of material. I didn't want to have just about 45 minutes. I wanted to make sure, if anything, I could do another hour extra.
Yeah, not
material.
30 minutes crowd work.
No, I want straight up material. regardless of what it is, I want to make sure I can talk. If there's nobody in that room, I can talk to myself and recite my own material. You know.
Has your as your comedy has evolved, has your writing process changed at all?
Yeah, I think my writing process has. I'm more thorough. I like to break down subjects more. I learned that from Colin Quinn and David Tell. I'll take a subject and I'll break down the subject. I'm not afraid to stay in the same subject. I can talk about one subject for 20 minutes. Like stuff I talk about my dad, I talk about different aspects of my father, but different aspects of stuff. So I learned to take a subject and try to break down every little nuance of that subject, you know?
When you're on the road, do you try new material or do you wait till you get to like your home club?
I always try new material when I'm on the road. I always put something new, but I mainly work on a lot of new stuff while I'm in New York City. I like to do it because I'm always late night. You know, I like to go last 1 o'clock in the morning because it's a smaller crowd sometimes, and when it's more intimate, you tend to do newer material, you know?
Question about that. I was actually in New York when the earthquake happened. And I wanted to go to, you do an 11 o'clock show.
Okay.
That was sold out. I went to the 9 o'clock show. For the guys up there, do you just call them and say, hey, I want to come get a spot tonight. Is it open? Or do they call you? How does that work?
Usually we have avails. We have this thing called availabilities where you call in a week before and you say, hey, I'm available. I'm in town. So they'll lay you down for the whole week and the weekend. You call, there's a booker. Every club has a booker, and you just tell them, yo, I'm leaving my avails. You can say, oh, I'm just here Tuesday and Wednesday, and that's how they do it. Sometimes if you're in town and you forget to call, you can just go, hey, can you squeeze me on or whatever. If you're a regular at a certain club, it depends.
At this point in your career, when you go to the Comedy Cellar, are you going to another club after that, or are you just knocking out 20 and then calling it a night?
Sometimes at the Cellar, I drop 30 to 40, and then before that, I may do stand up New York, uptown. And some guy, some of us will, the average, the New York comic, the average per day is four shows a night, and that's amazing work ethic. You can only get better, and your improvement is just exponential compared to other cities. You know what I mean? So it depends on the day.
What's the longest stretch you've been on the road at one time?
Let's see, maybe 2 weeks or so, 2-3 weeks. I would say 2 weeks, 2.5, 3 weeks. Yeah.
What's been
at one time, like constantly? Yeah, about 2-3 weeks.
What's been the biggest surprise, for better or worse? Certain cities maybe you thought you would do good and you didn't, or you didn't think you'd do good and you did great?
I can honestly say I pretty much do well everywhere I go. I'm not even going to lie. I mean, I just don't even think about... My mentality is not that of, I just don't think, because some people say, man, that city, man, they're very this, they're very that. But that doesn't mean anything to me, because people that, to me, come to a comedy club usually are there for comedy. No matter what the state is known for, people are coming to laugh. So their mentality is not going to be that of the so-called stereotype of that place, like Utah. I go perform in Utah. People say, but it's Mormons. I go, but every Mormon is not sitting in the comedy club. They're coming. They know where they're at. They know what they're experiencing. So I leave that out of my head. And plus, I'm a person that can adjust to anything. I don't care what it is. I believe being well traveled and knowing about different cultures. I'm not narrow-minded. It just opens you up to any situation. So I can honestly say, knock on wood. I'm knocking on wood. I want y'all to knock on wood. I pretty much have done well anywhere I go. Doesn't matter.
Good answer, man. What's the best advice any comics ever given you over your career?
Cosby gave me advice about, remember that show business. Look at the word show. Cosby said, look at the word show business and which word is bigger. Because I was an audience coordinator for the last Cosby show, and he goes, which word is the biggest? I said business. He said, always remember the word business in show business, because this is a business. Make sure you take care of your business. Show is only 10% of it. He said, son, make sure you take care of your business. He said it just like that. And also I got advice from Colin Quinn. He said, whenever you take a joke, always milk it all the way down to the last molecule, man. Get as much as you can from that. So I got that from them, that advice too. So, and always be yourself. I get, most comics will always be you. Just be what you feel. I mean, because you
Let me
can
ask
only
you-
be you. There's nothing.
That's the question, though. How long did it take to find yourself? They always
About
say the 10 years.
10.
All right,
Yeah,
so right
about
on.
that. About that time. Seinfeld told me that too. He told me another advice. He told me, he's like, don't always laugh at your own jokes. He said that might work for you too. He gave me that advice, and I said, well, it depends. I like laughing at my jokes sometimes. It's funny to me. I just feel funny at that point, you know.
What's the biggest distraction for you when you're on stage looking at an audience? Is it a texting? Is it talking?
Talking.
Staring?
Talking, well, they're going to stare at you. They have to. But talking and interrupting me while I'm talking is annoying as shit. Even if someone's maybe excited and having fun, I just hate when I'm interrupted. Because to me, comedy is like brain surgery, man. It's like if you interrupt it, you can really fuck up the whole thing. Just the smallest thing can fuck up a joke. And there are people out there that want to hear jokes. They paid their money, and I hate when someone deprives them of that. And now you got to deal with this interruption, and it's annoying. And I know sometimes they're having fun, but I hate when people talk.
Last question.
Yeah.
The worst / best bombing story for you at any point.
Best bombing story, East Orange, New Jersey. I'm sitting in East Orange, New Jersey. I'm at the Peppermint Lounge.
At what point in your career?
This was when I just moved to New York. What up, man?
We can pause it. We'll edit as soon as we'll just finish that last question.
Okay.
The bombing story, cool?
No, I can say it now.
Yeah, cool, man. You
shit.
stick around for like 2 minutes? Cool, man.
Go ahead.
Give us your worst / best bombing story.
East Orange, New Jersey, the most ghetto ass room, the Peppermint Lounge. When I first moved to New York, I had been doing comedy for about 2-3 years, and that's where they auditioned people for Def Comedy Jam, and it was Bill Bellamy's room. And East Orange is like it literally puts fear in every. I don't care what nobody. This is the most ghetto. Listen, it's just a drug deal, and everybody. You know, this is when Bill Bellamy was like the man in MTV, and so you go there, and it's like, hey man, you doing Peppermint Lounge, dog, because you had Naughty by Nature, you had the Knicks, some of the Knicks play. It was East Orange, so I'm like, I'm. This is my first time there. No, and I killed the first time. I was ripping that place. Then there was one time I went up there, and I was so comfortable because I would do that. I would do East Orange, you know. I'm doing these ghetto rooms. I'm like, man, I'm killing. And then one time, this dude heckled me, and so I started getting on him, and he knew everybody. Everybody knew this nigga. Everybody knew him. So they was like, man, that's my dude, man. Don't talk about my mouth. And then everybody started booing me, like literally booing me. I was doing well for like 4-5 minutes. Then when I started arguing with this dude, everybody's like, man, fuck you, nigga, boo. So they was booing me. So what I did was, but I turned it around. I was like, dude, this is 500 people it's like a stripper joint. And people are booing me. And all of a sudden what I did was I turned into Scarface. You know, at the end where he's getting riddled with bullets. So I started going, it's okay. I started doing this shit. And they started laughing again. But then they said, no, boo. I made them laugh again. Then they booed me again. That was my worst, like, bombing. But I can honestly say, I don't think I bomb a lot. I just don't really, I don't think so. I don't know. I'm not saying that I never will. I'm not saying that I always smash. I do well. But bombing, complete silence, I've never had. Yeah, man, there's sometimes some cats just don't feel you, man. It's not, this is me. I'm not going to give you anything else, man. This is the best I'm going to do. But all I can do is be the best as me. My jokes will get better as me. You know, cats that come to see me, you know, they'll be like, yo, I had some cats, they were black British people downstairs. You know, they were black British people like, yo, mate, that was the best. Oh, man, I can't wait to see you again. But my thing is about international. That's why my show, when I'm calling different countries out, that's where I'm coming from, because the world is international now. It ain't local no more. You put up a YouTube video, there's somebody in Japan watching you. We connected to it. Everybody's connected now. So that's how your shit has to be. Because one day they're gonna be like, man, we want to take you out to London, man. We want you to perform in Australia. They do. You know they got festivals all over the world now, dude. You want to be that dude that can be like, I got this. You want people to relate to you on all levels. That's why my thing is, do not be limited in your performance, man. Do not be afraid to go, man, I really want to talk about this. You should have enough talent to fucking convey that shit to whoever's looking at that. Because I'm sorry, I don't give a damn where you from. Don't act like you don't know what I'm talking about, because everybody watches TV, everybody's on YouTube, everybody pretty much knows how to use a computer. If you don't, you don't live in a cave, man. Technology is so heavy right now that everybody is rocking that shit now. Everybody, from drug dealers to congressmen, everybody knows how to use the computer, man. Everybody knows how to put stuff on video, blah, 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 blah. So it's like that now. So your comedy needs to be like technology, except that your comedy can't move as fast as technology. It takes time. You can't rush comedy. But your thinking needs to be like, you know what? I'm gonna flip this shit. On whatever subject you talking about, try and flip it. Try to make it
evolve. Like,
try to make it different. I mean, because a lot of times I accuse a lot of comics of this. They'll see something, they steal another motherfucker's thing. I know I'm on that. I'm just like, I just believe, I'm not afraid of another funny dude. But don't step on my shit. And so I go up and I do a joke and someone already did it. You ruining my shit. Be funny with your shit. If you smash it, I go, damn, that was dope. I ain't mad. That's what I like. I believe in finding your voice, man. Really being innovative. I'd rather see a dude get on stage and bomb with new shit than the normal shit and kill. Oh, you about to go up? You know what I'm saying? That's my thing. So that's how I feel.
Thanks for the interview, my friend.
Yo, that's Godfrey all day long, 2011. You know what I mean? We Tampa Bay Improv. That's how we do. Next time. Peace.
Well, there you have it, folks. Episode number 17 is in the books, as we always say around here. And if you like what you heard from Godfrey, be sure to check him out online. He has a website, godfreycomedian.com. And if godfreycomedian.com is too much for you to write down because you have no short-term memory, then just Google Godfrey. It's that simple. Google Godfrey. And if you say it like that, Google Godfrey, you can sound like an idiot like I just did. So either way, either Google him or visit his website, godfreycomedian.com, or just go to Amazon or iTunes or YouTube, check out the clips. Do what you normally do, but now do it with Godfrey. Also, if you got a couple moments to spare, visit my website, joeriga.com. I got blogs and I got pictures and I got jokes, interviews like these, lots of cool stuff. Also on Twitter, Joe Riga Comedy, or Facebook, check it out, Joe Riga. By the way, Matt, now that we're on 17 episodes, which is awesome, by the way, when do we really start making that money? Like that Adam Carolla, Mark Maron type money, huh? Yeah, a couple more weeks or something, a couple days. What are we looking at? What was that? Oh. We won't make any money. Oh, it's actually costing us money. Oh, wow. Okay. Oh, I actually owe you money. Oh, wow. Forget I asked. Oh, crap. All right, guys. Well, until next time, on behalf of Matthew and the Tampa Improv, my name is Joe Riga, and see you next time.